Devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood. Blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall. One wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right, welcome to another. Why the hell am I on a small? What the hell is going on? Let's go large screen. There you go. Can you hear me? I think you can hear me backstage. Excellent. All right, welcome to another Crimes After Dark show. Welcome to the people that are coming into the room. We are maybe, unfortunately, minus Logan tonight. She said she was still stuck at work, I think. So hopefully everything's fine. I guess it's just work, not anything else. And JJ may be joining us. He's not normally here on Thursday nights. I think this is a Thursday night, but I have been told he may try to make, actually, I think he's planning on making it. I'm a little confused about exactly when, because there's a time difference. And so I don't know if he means 7:45 my time or 7:45 his time, which would make a difference, like a whole hour difference. So we'll see what happens when he shows up tonight. By the way, thank you for everybody who's coming in and supporting the show. There's a lot of love that we're getting on this show, with people saying now that okay, this is going to sound bad, they go to bed with us every single night. Like, there's people who make us part of their nightly routine. So I love it that everybody in America and across the world is going to bed with me at night. It's a good experience. I like that. I always wanted more experiences. And so thank you for that pleasure. Anyways, the point being is that it's great that some of you are making this a ritual for your nightly routine. And I appreciate that very much. And I'm also trying to focus on getting long form videos back. And some of you had said, oh, good, DA's finally doing a long form video after forever. Has it been that long? I guess it has. Anyways, let's bring our panel up and get going. By the way, real quick, we are going to cover some new cases a little bit tonight. Not necessarily like we're covering new cases per se, but last night's show, several people gave us the whole DA. I'd really like you to look into the Noah Presgrove situation. We are going to do that tonight and talk about that as a panel. Maybe the Evansdale, I think that's how it's pronounced, girls from 2012. We may talk about that as well, but definitely the Noah Presgrove we're going to talk about. And then, of course, there's the regular bevy of stuff. Idaho 4, Mickey Steins had a video drop this morning on Mickey Steins, a lot more detail, about an hour on Mickey Steins this morning. By the way, before I bring the panel up, if you want to help this channel a lot, I really need your love and support on the other cases other than Idaho 4. Whenever I do another case other than Idaho 4, things go to die. I need your support. If you believe in this channel and you believe in the mission, I'm hoping you resonate with the panel and the topics, plural, not just a case. So give some love to those other videos when you see them. Help us out. Leave a comment. Get in a fight with somebody. Sometimes that helps the algorithm even. I don't know. But anyways, I don't want anybody to fight, but actually fights actually do help the algorithm, unfortunately. All right, let's bring on Dago. backstage from the True Crime Cafe. What's up, sir?
Whoa. You really just said that. Anyway,
I did. About everybody going to bed at this? Yeah.
No, the other thing with the fighting, but it's funny. I loved it.
Yeah. It's true. It's true, though.
I do want to reiterate everything that Lee just said for myself as well. Good evening, everybody. First and foremost, thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to see you all. A lot of you I just saw about 27 minutes ago. It's great to see you again. Thank you for being here. I love that you guys are. So, but yeah, guys, we definitely need the love and support on the other cases we want to cover as well. We want to bring them to you. So therefore, in turn, your support is what's absolute for those. It's absolutely important. So guys, thank you so very much for being here for all of it, guys. And it's great to be back. Good to see you, Lee.
Yeah, thanks. Good to see you as well. Yeah.
I'm excited to get into these other cases I've covered before, but I want to jump back into them.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to do that with all of you guys. So yes.
Perfect. Well, we'll do it live. I'm looking forward to talking about Noah Presgrove with you. I feel like, well, we'll wait till we get there. Let's get the rest of the panel up. Robin, how are you doing this evening? You got yourself muted at the moment. There you
Hello. I'm well, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm living the dream.
Hello.
Actually, I'm very excited. I'm feeling good.
Good.
Well,
That's good.
And I'm excited too to tell everyone they need to freaking hit that like button, subscribe to both channels, go over to Logan's channel and subscribe to her too. She can't be with us tonight, but dang it, we can help her too. And
Yes.
make sure your notifications are set to all, because YouTube keeps messing around with people's crap. So, but yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you who roams in here every night. We love going to bed with you all.
Yes. I love crawling in bed with you guys every night.
Well,
100%.
What the hey?
Yeah, it is worth the ride, as they say.
And make sure you guys, if you do go over to hit the like for Logan, please make sure you tell her congrats on hitting 5K, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hopefully we see. I hopefully Logan's group feels comfortable being here when she's not here and coming over and hanging out with us for the night and when she's not around. But if not, that's okay. I understand some people are loyal to their favorite creator and that they're only interested when their creator's on. But we want you to know that we view all of your communities as part of our community. If you're on the panel, we all want to be one big happy family. So that's the way we look at it, at least. It's not always the case. I find that it's not always the case. Like a lot of people's communities are really, really obsessive about their particular creator, and they actually don't want anybody else to touch their favorite creator. But we're kind of a share and share alike. I mean, again, getting into bed with everybody, you're going to have to be really sharing and just share the love with everyone.
You all.
Yeah. Gotta learn how to be touchy-feely. I mean, come on.
Right. All right.
Let's make sure you have a lot of antibiotics on hand. That's all.
All right. So why is his head down? Did he fall asleep during the panel review? What the?
He's playing with his toys still. See?
What's going on? I need to take this off his face. Oops. You just tried to take it off his face, and I tried to take it off his face, and we just turned it right back on.
Leave the buttons alone.
What's going on, sir? What's up?
What's new?
Well, yeah, that's what we're asking you. What's new?
Yeah. What's new and blue? And
you were very
salty and chocolatey and yeah.
Oh, very nice blue light. Yeah.
There you go. Blue light special.
Blue.
It's a blue light special. Was that a Kmart thing, the blue light special?
Yes. Yep.
Do you remember the Michael Jackson joke that went along with Kmart?
No.
You guys know what comes
now
after?
You got to tell us.
You know what
now
comes after 69?
What?
Do you know what comes after 69?
I don't.
I heard this from a 90-year-old grandmother that told this joke. Mouthwash.
You see, that's why we have the parental advisory.
Yes.
The Michael Jackson joke was something to the thing of like, why does Michael Jackson like the blue light special at Kmart? Because boys' pants are always half off.
Oh boy!
Did you almost lose your?
I'm not touching that.
Nope.
With a 10-foot pole.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, it was a bad joke, but the
Holy
blue light special.
snaky.
By the way, as a quick aside, we'll get into the monologue for a one, but as a quick aside, I discovered a new band. Speaking of Michael Jackson, I discovered a new band. I'm kind of into this dark country mode. And there's this band I had never heard of before. And I know a lot of you probably have heard of it, but it's If Rappers Did Country. That's the name of the band. If Rappers Did Country. And they did two Michael Jackson covers, Beat It and Billie Jean. And it is in a dark country style, and it's some of the badass shit. It's better than the original. Like, oh my God. Like, I didn't even like the song Beat It. I love the If Rappers Did Country version of Beat It. It is badass. So anyways, if you haven't checked that out, you might want to check that out.
I will be checking that out.
Great stuff. All right. So one, do you have a monologue prepared for us tonight?
Sure, I do. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Thursday night?
Yes,
Jackson, Juliana, and to my beautiful wife. Love you guys always. All right. The world goes quiet after midnight. Not the kind of quiet that feels peaceful, the other kind. The kind where the air feels heavier, where every unanswered question starts whispering back. This is Devil's Advocates, a place where stories don't just get told, they get taken apart. Piece by piece, question by question, until the truth, or whatever is left of it, crawls out of the dark. Tonight we start in a small town most people had never heard of, until two bicycles appeared, abandoned, beside a lake. Elizabeth Collins, 8 years old. Lyric Cook Morrissey, 10. Cousins, best friends, two kids riding bikes on a summer afternoon in Evansdale, Iowa. And then, nothing. No screams, no witnesses, just two bikes lying near the water, like someone had pressed pause on their lives. Months later, investigators would find them again, far away, hidden deep inside the woods of Seven Bridges Wildlife Area. Two children taken, left, and somehow no one knows who did it, or at least no one is saying. But sometimes the darkness doesn't stay in one place. Sometimes it travels. Hundreds of miles south, another town, another night. A party, laughter. Teenagers under the Oklahoma sky, and by morning, someone was dead. 19-year-old Noah Presgrove, his body discovered along a lonely road outside Lawton, Oklahoma. Broken bones, strange injuries. A story that keeps changing depending on who tells it. Was it a hit and run, an accident, or something that happened in the dark while everyone else looked the other way? Because the truth about nights like that is simple. People remember more than they admit. Someone always saw something. Someone always heard something. And somewhere, someone knows exactly what happened. But silence is a powerful thing. Small towns survive on it. Friend groups protect it. And investigators sometimes drown in it. Tonight, we turn down the lights. We ask the questions that make people uncomfortable. Who took Elizabeth and Lyric? Why did the trail go cold? And what really happened in the final hours of Noah Presgrove's life? Because the truth doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it's just waiting in the dark for someone willing to look. So lean in, lower the volume, and listen carefully. Because the devil doesn't always need an advocate. Sometimes he just needs someone to ask the next question. This is Devil's Advocate. And with that, live from New York, it's Thursday night.
awesome. I love that you tailored
Cool.
your monologue, as you always do, to some of the topics that we want to cover tonight. By the way, Dago, I don't know if you want to do this or not, but I prepared a poll to start the evening. And if you want to get your poll out for everybody, you can do that as well. What I want to do is I want to ask where we should start tonight. What crime should we start with? We will be covering tonight some discussion on Noah Presgrove because that came up last night. People wanted me to look into it, and I heard you, and I did, and I became immediately fascinated with that case. Also, we'll talk about Evansdale, as one said in the monologue. So what I want to do is I want to give you 4 options. What crime should we start with tonight? Idaho 4, which is typically what everybody wants to talk about, and we can and will talk about that tonight. Mickey Stein's, which is the new video I dropped this morning. It did an hour of Mickey Stein's material about vigilante justice. Actually, it wasn't. Was that what I dropped this morning? I think that's what's coming out tomorrow is vigilante justice. What the hell did I drop this morning? Shit, it was a Mickey Stein's one. I did a long deep dive into some of the his attorneys and stuff. Did you fuzz out? Anyways, so the 4 options: Idaho 4, Mickey Stein's, Noah Presgrove, or Evansdale, because I only get 4 options. So did you want to put that out there too, Dago, or just me? You're muted, so I don't know what you just said, but you shook your head and you talked.
I'm already working on. I'm just finishing up Evansdale right now.
All right.
We won't be able to get the votes from Logan's people though.
Yeah, I know. Baby, what is it? Baby Ames says that they live close to where Noah was found. Wow. Well, good, because if we get wrapped into this case, I'm going to come to your house and ask you some questions.
You will get wrapped into this case. I'll tell you right now. So I have, what crime should we start off with tonight? Idaho 4, Mickey Stein's, Noah Presgrove, or Evansdale?
Yep, that's it. You ready to fire it?
Sure thing.
1, 2, 3, roll.
Patooey.
Now, we don't have a huge group tonight, so let's just wait and see how it kind of settles out. And when it starts to slow down, we can start talking about cutting off the thing. Sometimes we wait for a specific number, but we're kind of a little low on viewers right now, which reminds you, hit like and subscribe and comment and do everything and hype it, whatever you need to do to get us some attention. And then that way we'd have a bigger audience, or we'll just be small and intimate. Okay. I'm writing right now at about 19 votes, and it's still picking up. Looks like the votes are still going, so I'm going to give it a little bit of time.
I have 13.
Okay, sounds like is yours kind of settled, or because mine's starting to slow down, so it's kind of hovering right about here.
No, it's moving. It's going up now.
Okay.
Please vote on the poll, folks. Vote on the poll. Please hit the poll. Please touch the poll. Do something to the poll, folks.
Do something to the poll, for Pete's sake.
Please.
Oh, Robin's frozen. I heard her laugh, but I didn't see her face.
Her face didn't move. It was kind of creepy.
Got the most stoic face ever.
It's because I was on a different tab. It's okay.
All right, let's talk about numbers. I'm going to go ahead and end it. I've got myself. What did I just do? I ended it, and then I can't see my own poll. I can't see my own poll.
Give it a minute. It'll show up. Give it a sec. There it is. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it showed up.
All right.
It shows in the chat.
Okay. I don't see.
I got 45.
Yeah, you got
Noah.
I'll read it for you if you want, Lee.
Okay.
I posted. Okay, they go finish. Go ahead.
Yeah.
45% Noah Presgrove. 33 said Idaho 4. Oh, this is wild. 11% said Mickey Stein's and 11 said Evansdale. So my side wants Noah.
Yeah, same here. We got 40. Yeah. I see the poll finally. 48% Noah, 33 Idaho, riding in a good second. Mickey Stein's, unfortunate in a way, because Mickey Stein's is a really interesting case. You're gonna get interested if you listen to us long enough. That's my impression. But and Evansdale kind of riding in at 8%. So let's start with Noah Presgrove, if you would like.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where to start because you were ahead of me by quite a bit. So do I let you run with the overview, or do you want me to run with the overview and you correct me or kind of fill me in on things? Like, I don't know who to start with.
It's up to how you want to do it. Do you want to start off with like a news clip of this and like let them see the news story itself, or do you just want to talk through it?
That's a good question. Yeah, do you have a news story to throw up on screen?
It's probably good because I think I see in the chat like a bunch of people never heard of the case at all. That's why I was give them like a brief synopsis.
Right. And that's just it. I was gonna give a brief synopsis, but if you think that news article does a good job of it, maybe we should do the news articles as a synopsis.
I'll grab one of mine. Let me see what I got. Give me a second.
Okay. or I can start to monologue on the basics,
Sure,
and you can
sure.
Yeah. So from what I understand, Noah Presgrove is a 19-year-old young man who was at a party for, was it Labor Day weekend? I think it was.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
it was a multi-day of drunken binge drinking with a bunch of underage drinking and adults that were providing alcohol for the underage party goers. Noah, age 19, according to some of the rumors and things that I've seen, and Dago will correct me on what is rumor and what's actual fact. Noah and others got into ATV riding. There were rumors that Noah also got into a fight with somebody at the party. Whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
Noah was found dead on September 4th at approximately 6 o'clock in the morning. His body was found alongside of the road with mysterious circumstances. He was found nearly naked, but his clothes, his shorts, folded neatly next to him, and apparently undamaged. So meaning like I hadn't been hit by a car, but they're kind of making it look like he was hit by a car. Officially, it's not ruled a homicide, but the investigation is still open. They don't say there's any signs of foul play, but again, rumors are out there that he was beaten to death at the party. Other rumors were that maybe he had an ATV crash and had been injured, but walked away from it and then maybe died later of his injuries. Maybe they were covering up the whole thing to hide the underage drinking and the fact that adults were providing underage people. And Dago told me, a shocker before the thing, said that some of that underage stuff is even worse than you think. So that's kind of the gist of it. And so the basic, and the last thing I'll say about the summary, and then I'll let Dago take over, is that the family now, so again, it's never been investigated as a homicide and no suspicious circumstances. They just kind of say, we're not sure exactly what happened that night, but we don't see homicide, foul play. The family, I believe, has filed a wrongful death lawsuit and has claimed things like our son Noah was beaten to death at that party, with apparently no evidence to support it. They just said it. And the family says that they have evidence, but they just haven't come forward with it at this point. So that's kind of the gist of what I know, is that it's a mystery. We don't know exactly how he died. Family thinks that he was beaten to death. Whatever the case may be, it looks like somebody's trying to cover up the circumstances of his death, be it either they don't want to admit that they got a young man killed by over drinking and letting him ride ATVs drunk when he's underage, or whether it was a beating or whatever. But whatever the case may be, most people don't think he got hit by a car. All right, Dago, what do we got?
I'm working on this in the background, but no, I definitely don't believe he got hit by a car. Anything related to a car, if anything, I believe he was drugged by a car. I'll say that. But there's a lot to this. I'm still digging on this, because I haven't touched this in a while. I'm sorry. Just trying to pull something out that, here we go. This is, actually, this was something I used. It was a law and crime, which we can use. You don't have to worry about that. They don't ever have issues
For copyright?
Yeah, we're good on those. I use them a lot. No, and Court TV. Law and Crime put this out. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's 7 shocking details of the Oklahoma teen Noah Presgrove's mysterious death. It gives the everything in one synopsis per se and tells the story. So I think that's probably the best way to approach it if you want to do that.
So if we play a 15-minute video, is it something we can pause and talk about along the way, so that we don't just have to be watching for 15? Let's do that.
Yeah. If you want me to do that, I'll do whatever you want me to do. 100%.
Let's do that. Let's just leave room for discussion and dialogue, so it doesn't become 15 minutes of watching a video. But yeah.
While you get that up, I'll just say, he sustained fatal blunt force injuries on his skull, on his spine, and that's one of the interesting things is, and
there was a lot of why I believe he was dragged, you guys, I'll tell you, as they may tell you too. There was a lot of like road burn and road rash on his body, his backside.
But not
there's evidence he got drugged behind a car or something like that.
Yeah, and the interesting thing too is his clothes were undamaged.
And that's another thing too.
That's the part that I was saying.
Yeah.
Undamaged clothes suggests that he wasn't hit by a car
and I'll explain that
naked. Yeah.
Right.
And definitely I will explain that part with the clothes, because there's something with the clothes and his best friend that's very odd. I'll tell you that. So, and
one more thing I want to bring up before we get into this video, which maybe it explains in the video, but and it's just because I'm a devil's in the details kind of guy, but they keep saying teeth were found near the body, but they never really said whether it was his teeth. Is it his teeth, or did
the teeth were taken from the friend's pocket and dropped near the body?
Holy shit! All right. I'm intrigued. You've got me intrigued, sir. You have my curiosity.
Not being investigated as a homicide.
Nobody understands, Robin. Nobody. The family
Yeah, there's
believes
some-
it was foul play. Many people do, but it'll
some
tell some
fuckery.
of that, and then I'll explain some of these things to you guys that don't know about this at all. So,
All right, let's add this to stage and let's put that up there and let's remove this because apparently I can't add this until that's removed. Okay. So when it's playing, I can't remember. Do I have control or you have total control? If you have total
I'll have
you're gonna-
control. I'll
okay,
have
you're
it.
gonna have to pause when it comes time for stop. This give us some breaks in here to talk about it.
Yeah, and if you want me to, just say, hey, you know,
he's a good-looking young man, or was a good-looking young man, right?
very much so, very popular.
Yep.
19 years old. He was an athlete. He had his whole life in front of him. So,
not that it matters. Death is death. He doesn't have to be a
I'm
good-looking
sorry.
young man to be.
Yeah, baby's right. Friend's dad's pocket. My apologies, guys. Yes. There's a whole thing with this guy. I'm telling you guys, you're going to be blown away.
Now, I notice you're okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And notice it looks like you're starting some ways into the video. Is that where it starts, or does it start way at the beginning?
No, sorry about it.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
He was found naked along a rural Oklahoma highway. His cause of death, multiple blunt force injuries. But nearly 1 year later, investigators are still unsure the manner of death.
It certainly could have been murder.
Investigators now taking every tip, lead, and possible sighting, trying to make sense of what happened.
You can't solve a crime from behind a desk. You got to get out and talk to people.
Here's everything we know so far about the mysterious case of 19-year-old Noah Presgrove. Before his death, Presgrove was a major high school athlete, playing football, wrestling, and running both cross country and track at Comanche High School.
Pause for a minute here.
That's Comanche.
So as a fit athlete, wrestling and whatever, I just as a question, the whole fight thing, like it seems like he would hold his own pretty well in a fight. What's the story behind the fight thing? Do they talk about it in this video? But that's my first question. He's
a little bit, yeah.
He's a fit guy, right? And he's a wrestler, so he probably would be able to hold his own in a fight.
He definitely could hold his own. There's photograph and video that I had played through when I did the show. It shows him standing there like drunk, obviously, telling his friends, "Hit me, come on, hit me," and like people slapping him and punching him and stuff. And
so he wasn't afraid to take a punch, or
no, not at all. The dude comes off to me as somebody that would, like, if he got into a fight, he'd probably handle it and win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, not when the fight's not fair.
Exactly. When there's more than one person, it tends to change things. So yes.
Yeah. Don't forget to chime in, Robin, every once in a while. You're going to go all silent on me, and I won't even know how to.
No. No. I'm just. It just underscores again how I have lots of feeling. Let me sort it out a little.
Yeah, no, yeah, go ahead. Sort it out. I just want to make sure that you are engaged with this because, you know.
No, very.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Oklahoma, in the southernmost part of the state, a quick 20 miles from the northern Texas border. Presgrove graduated from high school in 2023 and had planned to enlist in the military along with his cousin. According to countless reports, Presgrove had a tight-knit group of friends, and that's who he was hanging out with on Labor Day weekend of last year. The group threw a party that seemingly lasted for several days, celebrating both the long weekend and the 22nd birthday of Presgrove's friend, Avery Jo Combs.
Stop.
Around 40 people are said to have attended.
So one thing I have to ask as well, I want to give room for all this to discuss. So this is a multiple day weekend party of drinking with underage kids and adults providing alcohol. How do they expect that not to go sideways? How did they expect people to not be over intoxicated and some kid to die from an alcohol poisoning? Like what kind of controls are in place? What kind of parents are letting all these young, I don't know how many young kids were there, but because apparently there were some that were.
There was a lot. There was a lot over the 3-day period of time.
And this girl, he was represented as his girlfriend or something, or just a friend.
It says friend, but you know, kids are okay. It could be. There were a lot of kids there. The parents absolutely, just so you guys know, the parents provided everything for this. The property, the area they had the party, the alcohol, all sorts of stuff. They provided the whole thing, and they were there throughout in some options. Okay,
right. And no charges against the parents for providing underage people with alcohol. By the way, somebody said that, can you pump the volume up? Is this on full volume? It is on full volume for us.
Yeah, it's on full volume. I don't know if it's on your guys' end or hold on. Let me try something over here, you guys. Just give me a second.
What? Who are the parents connected to? They're getting away. They got away with that shit.
You're asking the questions like who knows who? That's what you want to know. Who
Right.
knows who?
Right.
That's what I was going to say next. Okay, the sheriff or the local police, they're very connected to them, friend-wise. Okay, they're all very close, and this is another small town.
And Turkey Creek girl says, "Is this true that Turkey Creek says the parents have a lot of money?"
Yes.
So oftentimes, I hate to say it, but oftentimes money buys friends in high places. So yeah,
of course, yes, and they all know each other. Law enforcement, the parents, everybody, they all know each other. And again, small town values, folks. Remember that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
Yep.
Attended. According to several reports, Presgrove got into a fight in the early morning hours of September 4th, 2023, while at this party. The argument was with his best friend, Jack Newton. Remember that name. He comes up again.
I want to pause for Jack. If I understand, Jack was over the legal age and he bought the alcohol or something like that. Wasn't that
some
part
of
of
it?
the thing?
Some of it, yeah. And that's another thing too. Is you need.
But
he
got into a fight with his friend. You're saying. So
and you need to remember Jack and his father. Okay.
Yeah.
Both of them. And this was literally Noah's absolute best friend in the whole world. And
what are they doing here? Are they snowboarding? What do they got in there? Is that a snowboard he's got in his hands?
Yeah.
Which one of these is Jack?
This is Jack right here.
Okay.
This is Noah. Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right.
But according to Jack, it resolved quickly and they ended it by telling each other how much they meant to one another. Around the same time frame, Presgrove was seen allegedly daring friends at the party to slap him.
So this is the video. I had the videos of this too. There's actual videos, not just these stills, where he's screaming, "Come on, come on. Don't be a pussy. Do it.
This is from that night or that specific
during
night?
That party, yeah. This is Noah right
So
here.
this is the actual night that they claim he got into a fight with people.
Yes.
With that. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you tell me you've seen this video. Was he antagonistic towards people? Was he starting fights? Was he in the mood to fight and was trying to get people to fight him, or what was the move?
Basically, he was drunk as shit. I'll say that. Really drunk, and he was like challenging everybody, girls, men. It didn't matter. To hit him, to charge him, to smack him, all of it. And he was being a douchebag. I'll put it that way, okay? In all due respect. But he was drunk as shit. I'm telling you guys, he was trashed. You could tell it.
He was drunk and wanting to fight. And,
some guys get that way. You know what I mean? I be that guy, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what it was all about. So they were drunk too. He wasn't the only one. Now there were some people there that weren't. But most everybody was really drunk. Again, a 3-day party, folks. Think about that. Okay.
Yeah. 3 days of drinking with a bunch of underage kids. Like,
And there were parents around watching all this go on. They were coming and going, whatever they were doing. There's other things I'll get into later that I'll explain that are just, this is just bad. This is absolutely Appetite for Destruction right here. So,
yeah. Good album, though.
It is. It was. Yeah.
In the face. This was caught on video, and here's a screenshot of that. It was posted at 1:42 a.m. and it's the last known video of Presgrove.
Stop.
After that morning, Presgrove.
So yeah, just for those who are coming up to speed, because I happen to. So I believe the last time Presgrove was seen alive was leaving the party or going somewhere around 3:50-ish in the morning. And so this fight that they caught on camera was, what they say, 1:40, 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, well, that wasn't that video.
Or was the day before? The day before. Yeah.
This wasn't actually a fight. He was just challenging people to hit him. But yeah, that's when that was. Yeah.
So, but was that the same night of his death, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Sorry. No. Don't apologize. You're good. And this, by the way, all these photographs and everything came from his best friend Jack's Facebook.
Is that a picture from the night, or is that a picture from some other unrelated?
Yeah, this is from my understanding. This came from one of the nights. Okay,
one of the nights of that weekend of drinking.
Yeah.
That's how it was explained to me. So yes. And like I said, Jack, again, his best friend, was very cooperative in every way he could be, per se, to a point, in my opinion. I'll just put it that way. So
apparently took a group of friends on an ATV joyride, but crashed and flipped it over. We believe no one was injured in the crash, but
that happened twice. Okay. There was two accidents that happened. One was on a side-by-side ATV. The other was on, I think, a four-wheeler. But he rolled them both, from my understanding. And again, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to share a personal thing. When I was about this age, it's a personal story, not related, so I hope it doesn't bug the shit out of people. When I was about this age, my father had a wealthy employer that invited us to a weekend retreat to ride ATVs and stuff like that. And I rode it, and I rolled his ATV. I was out by myself and on a sand dune, and I rolled it. I stuck my hand up into the engine and gave myself third-degree burns on my thing, because I was trying to push the engine off me as it rolled over. And I was so afraid to tell anybody that I rolled his ATV, because it was an expensive thing, that I hid my third-degree burns and everything. So I'm used to the whole drinking an ATV riding. Actually, I wasn't even drinking. I was completely sober. It was just, but I just had an accident. I just flipped it over. But anyways, it's my story of something like this.
Well, it's actually interesting you brought that up, because after hearing certain testimonies and different things and stuff, I have a feeling that part of that is part of what caused some of the problems, because they weren't his. They belonged to somebody else. And that, I think they were Jack's dad's. Okay. And in turn, that upset Jack. Like, these are my dad's ATVs. What the hell are you doing? You're breaking this, you're ruining that, stuff like that. And I think that's what may have provoked one of the fights. One of them. There was another fight that happened over a girl too. So there's a lot with this, you guys, a whole lot.
All right.
You guys kind of a mindset with it.
Yes. So this was September 3rd, 2023, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 4th. Yeah. I think I think he was found on the 4th. Yeah.
I think it was the 3rd, 4th, and I think the 5th. I think
party.
3rd or 4th, something like that. I can't remember exactly. It's been a year or two. Anyway, on we go.
afterwards, some friends helped Presgrove shower and clean up because he was allegedly too drunk. He also borrowed a pair of white sport shorts from his friend Jack before getting in an argument with the birthday girl, Avery Jo Combs. She told Presgrove he wasn't allowed to sleep in her bed and had to stay on the floor instead. After this, Presgrove apparently said he was going to cool off. By 3:41, one of Presgrove's friends took a Snapchat photo that has that exact timestamp. The caption reads, quote, "Well, Noah is missing."
What? Wait a minute. That's such a fucking weird text. I heard about the Snapchat text saying, "Well, Noah's missing," but that was she had that selfie picture along with that. Is that an actual snap?
Yeah, that was the whole thing right there.
What does that feel odd to you? Well, Noah's missing. Like,
of course it did. Yeah.
Does it feel odd to you? That doesn't seem right.
100% it did.
Smiling, acting like it's not a big deal. Well, Noah's missing, and it's like, what? That smiley face emojis?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
what
the whole thing is so weird, folks. Okay. Well, if you look at the emojis.
Yeah, that's what I was looking.
Look at the eyes, Lee. Look at the eyes.
Are they little crossed eyes?
Mm-hmm. They're squiggly
God.
eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
And the
that's
mouth
disturbing in a way, right? That's it implies something. It's
and here's the thing: is that everybody, in my opinion, that was here, they know. Okay, I'll just put it that way. There's a couple parallels here in Idaho too. I'll just tell you that much. So,
I gotta write this. So 3:41 is that text message. So he must have been. He was then last seen before 3:41 because that's when she says Noah's missing, right? So
it said
he was last seen at 3:50
a.m. 3:50.
Yeah,
that's what I thought too. But okay,
she says this at 3:41. There was another one somewhere too, but absolute last sighting was 3:50.
Okay.
Was missing. After that, no one knows what happened to Presgrove or where exactly he went. The next time he was seen was just before 6 o'clock in the morning when 2 911 calls came into local dispatch. 2 separate drivers reported something laying in the shoulder of the road on US 81 near Terrell, Oklahoma. They thought it could be a deer or a body. One caller told dispatch, quote, "I'm pretty sure there's somebody laying dead along the road. They look naked. I'm staying back." The caller was right. Presgrove was naked, wearing nothing but a pair of mismatched shoes. About 25 feet away from Presgrove's.
And let me explain the shoe thing. He had,
I gotta know why mismatched shoes.
He was wearing someone else's shoes, and they were mismatched. Okay, two other people's shoes. He had one on one foot that belonged to one person that was different from the other one on the other foot that belonged to somebody else. Completely different shoes. So,
and were the shorts Jack's shorts and not his too? The shorts that were found next to him or not?
The white shorts he had on were Jack's, but there's a story that I'll explain that to you too, because Jack.
I can't wait, dude. I'm all over it.
Jack went home. Let this play first, and then I'll explain that because I don't want to ruin that and get people confused.
Okay.
Body were those white sport shorts Jack had loaned him just hours earlier. He was laying.
Hold on, I'm gonna play that back because it skipped over that part, I think, because we paused it.
Earlier, he was laying in the fetal position along the road just 1 mile.
Back a little further. Yeah.
There we go.
Dead along the road. They look naked. I'm staying back. The caller was right. Presgrove was naked, wearing nothing but a pair of mismatched shoes. About 25 feet away from Presgrove's body were those white sport shorts Jack had loaned him just hours earlier. He was laying in the fetal position along the road just 1 mile from the party he just attended. Investigators say there was minimal blood on the scene, but Presgrove's injuries were shocking. The base of his skull had been split in two. His spine was fractured, and there was.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I pulled the autopsy report for this when we covered this.
Do you have it still?
I have to go dig and look for it. I may have it, and Molly might have it too. But it was bad, guys. If you heard her say her skull was split in two, okay?
Yeah.
That's not that easy to do, you guys. I'm just telling you. You have to do some serious damage. There's a lot more. I'm gonna let her explain it, but it was so bad when I pulled the autopsy report. I was like, Jesus Christ! I mean, his whole body was mangled, folks. It was bad. So
let's take a moment, if you will. If his skull was split, I got two questions. One, well, maybe three. Could it have happened like they said? He got hit by a car. That would cause enough damage potentially to split your skull. Could he have gotten in an ATV accident bad enough to split his skull and still walk away from it? I don't think that's likely, but I don't think that's likely.
Not in my
or
opinion.
Could he have been hit over the back of the head with something? I don't know where his skull was, but was he hit with an object? So that's the three things I'm thinking. It could have happened, like they said. Maybe he was hit by a car and that caused the skull fracture. But,
you'd have paint. You'd have paint transfer from the car then.
Yes,
on him.
There would have definitely been transfer, and there would have been other injuries from.
And someone says in here, baseball bat would fracture someone's skull too.
It was literally split in two, though. Understand that. Your skull is one of the hardest bones in your body, folks. Literally. Okay. So there's a lot. His spine was detached. There's a lot of things to this, though.
Which to be fair, could be
kind of
damage
from a car accident.
From a car accident. Yeah. All right.
There's other things that take from that to take away from the possibility of that is all I'm saying that we'll come to later.
I guess where I'm going to play, I'm sorry, where I'm going to play devil's advocates is you're not going to get your skull fractured and your spine dislocated from a fight, right? So something more than a fight happened. So was it a car accident or was it, because what I'm saying is a fist fight's not going to fracture split your skull in two and dislocate your spine or something like that. So
no, but if
there was other things found on the scene and this and that like that. I think me personally, I think he was struck by a vehicle. That's what I think happened to him. But that's me. So on we go.
But maybe run over on. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but maybe run over during or yes, absolutely.
Right.
An 8-inch cut on his scalp that had been flipped back, revealing bone. So that was September 4th, 2023. But Presgrove's autopsy wasn't released until the following May. It lists cause of death as multiple blunt.
What? How long did it take for the fucking autopsy to come out?
Well, September to May.
Okay. September was the
8
accident,
months.
and it was
8 months.
May, 8 months before the autopsy report came out.
Why did it take 8 months to drop an autopsy report in an accidental death is what it looks to be, right?
Right?
Thank you. That's my question. 8 months for an autopsy report on this.
I don't understand.
Nobody
I don't either.
Doesn't make no sense.
Well,
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Force injuries, but the manner of death is still undetermined. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation declared his death suspicious, but that led to more questions than answers. Investigators say they don't believe it was a hit and run, and they don't believe it was murder. So what then killed Noah Presgrove?
I mean, there's an awful lot going on. There's
So pause. I'm sorry. So based on that, they don't believe it was a hit and run, and they don't think it was murder, which would leave an accident that they're trying to cover up. Is that what they're implying, right? They're saying it wasn't murder and he wasn't hit by a car. So it sounds like an accident that somebody's trying to stage because they don't want to admit what happened.
There you go. There you go. There you go. And nobody during that period of time in the investigation, none of these kids would talk. Nobody would talk. There was one kid that wanted to, but he was scared. So just letting you know.
Extended party. There's an accident on an ATV before the incident happens. And there's a little bit of separation between the last time anybody hears from him and when they see him on the side of the road. So there's a lot going on. It sounds like they were hitting it hard for quite a few hours at this party. A couple of different conflicts, a physical fight, an argument. There's a lot going on that day.
That's Will Svelar, a retired commander and homicide detective based out of Cook County, Illinois. We reached out to him to make sense of Presgrove's case. Now, we know there was a lot going on at this party, but moving on to when Presgrove's body was found. To you, who has a major background in this sort of investigation, does it seem mysterious or suspicious to you?
There is so much blunt force trauma to the body. It indicates, and where he's found, it indicates that possibly he's struck by a car. Now, you would expect some kind of a transfer between the victim and the vehicle. Now, I don't know much about the rural roads back there in Oklahoma, but I imagine there's a lot of trucks, that sit a little higher. There's a lot of semi-trailer traffic, things like that, because his injuries are so significant. I would say it'd be very difficult to sustain that in just a standard beating. I mean, it looks, from what I see, and I don't have all the facts, obviously, but it looks like he's hit by something. Then you have there's some dragging marks on his shoes, which were two different shoes, if I read that correctly. It looks like maybe he's hit by a truck or something that sits up higher.
Pause.
And maybe.
I mean, obviously the possibility still exists for a fight in which somebody got in a car and ran his ass over or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when he says, well, it doesn't look like it's a beating. Yeah, maybe not physically a fist beating, but could a fight have escalated into somebody getting in a car and running him over? And something like that.
And
that's yeah.
Yeah. And then you also, like what you were saying, Lee, too, I'm just reading here, the ATV thing that he was involved with, right? So he was in, you said, Dago, you said he had 2 accidents that day with ATVs.
Uh-huh.
So Noah could have been injured, right, in a vehicle accident on a private property, and fear of legal consequences could have led to attempts to conceal what happened as well. If his injury was severe enough, and then even though these people, whoever the owner, they have a lot of money, but still, it's
that's exactly what I was saying. Is like my first thought was that they didn't want to admit that this kid got killed in an accident because of underage drinking, which could lead to a homicide manslaughter charge against the people who hosted the party and all kinds of stuff. So, but the problem with it just being he died from an ATV accident is, again, you don't walk away from the ATV accident with that kind of, you don't have that kind of spinal
No.
injury, you don't have that kind of head injury and walk away from it. So it sounds like he walked away from the ATV accident.
He did.
So it can't be, in my mind
Right.
so far, it
Both
can't
of
be
them.
the ATV accident that caused his death.
No, I never believed it, and I do have photographs. I knew Molly was going to start dropping stuff to me. I have stuff to go with this to show you after the fact. But yeah, there's thank you, Molly.
Thanks, Molly. Yeah.
There were two ATV accidents that he got up and showered and walked away from this because he was so drunk he kept screwing up shit, so on and so forth. And again, that's what caused one of the fights earlier. And I think it could have promoted, like, the dude was just out of touch that night. He was out of control. And it's almost like I feel like they got sick of him. He did some things. There was a couple things towards some girls that pissed off some other people and stuff, so on and so forth. So
I want to say that's where I'm going. Like,
yeah,
my initial impression is, and I hate to say this because I don't know the young man, but he looks like he was showboating, showing off,
he was
starting fights, probably rolled the ATV because he's showing up, and he was probably belligerent and obnoxious, which could have, and again, and if he was hitting on people's girlfriends and he was just being a general pain in the ass, causing problems for everybody, I could see how that would start fights. Like, somebody needs to shut that guy the fuck up. He's ruining everything, or whatever. And so that would lead to people being super angry at him, and then let it get out of hand, right?
Yep.
So were the parents still there at this point? If that's the case, why the hell didn't they just take the kid home?
The parents,
these parents are providing drinkings.
The parents weren't much better. There's a story that came to me that the one father was found to be in a bedroom with one of the underage girls too, and so yeah.
So and I will say this: if this was on private property, I would imagine, I hate to say this, but I would imagine if these adults were providing a party that included underage drinkers, I guess to counter Robin's point, probably a rule was nobody's fucking leaving the party this weekend. Like, nobody's leaving, right? Because I don't want to have to explain to people's parents. I'm not going to take a drunk 19-year-old home and say, hey, by the way, I provided your kid alcohol, but he's a pain in the ass, so we're bringing him to your house. Like, they're just going to be like, nobody goes home, because we don't want to get out there just underage drinking.
Yes, exactly. And there's some point where they all go to the scene. A lot of the kids that were there, and the one, I think the sheriff, or it was the sheriff, I believe, tells them all, go home and go to bed. That's what was said to him. Go back to the house and go to bed. Almost like, you didn't see this. This didn't happen.
Of course.
And like I said, the parents are very there's rumors about the father. Like I said, there's rumors that the mother was flirting with some of the teenage guys that were there too. And
holy shit,
dude, it's a mess. It's a bad.
By the way, I have to make an Idaho 4 reference. It seems like this pretty much happened at 4 a.m. JJ joining us for a late start, but good to see you. I knew you were coming in late. Good to see you, by the way.
JJ, super nice, guys. He's super
nice. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? And it's just coffee, bitch.
It's just coffee, bitch. That's
just coffee, bitch.
Well, I don't know how much you know about the Noah Presgrove thing, but we're diving into Noah Presgrove because somebody asked us to look into it last night, and we're doing a dive into it. Dago's bringing us up to speed. We're using a law and crime and video about it, and we're getting the. Do you know anything about it before I tell you anything about it?
I had heard about it, and I've been listening to you guys since I got home. It was some kind of ATV, allegedly an ATV accident or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't get a lot of the details though.
So Noah was very sorry.
I was going to say, Dago. So you think that he got hit? You think he was hit by the car? But
I think he could have been drugged.
But there's
drug and or ran over by the car or more. Okay, or a vehicle. I'm not going to say car. Vehicle. There was like pieces of chain found at the scene.
But why the clothes? Why the clothes have no marks? That's like crazy.
That's insane. It is weird. Yes.
Yeah.
The shorts were folded. The shorts that were found, I can't remember how many yards they said from his body. They were found folded up neatly on the ground.
Right. That's what I got the impression that they said that the clothes.
That's fucking weird.
The
Who did the shorts belong to? Who did the shorts belong to?
Jack. Right. Jack. Right. Yeah.
Just as much as the teeth that were taken out of the father's pocket and dumped on the ground next to the body. Think about that for a minute.
I am thinking about it. All right. All right, let's roll it. Let's keep going.
Yep.
Dragged along and rolled around. I know he's got some injuries to his fingers as well, but it's just so much trauma to the body that it's difficult for me to believe that this is just a straight beating. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible that he did take a beating and then somebody dumped him on the side of the road.
Yep.
And then he was struck by a vehicle.
Yeah. Okay. Stop. I mean, that's a scenario too, right?
There were no tire markings on his body whatsoever that they could find.
Right. So again, the scenario would be maybe he was beaten and they left him on the side of the road, or he walked away beaten and then got struck by a vehicle. And so it's a combination of the two. But as you say, no tire marks. Now, could that mean that somebody just flat out didn't see him and plowed right through him and never hit the brakes? Because that does happen. People do hit things and never hit the brakes.
Everything is possible.
Right. All right. But it's just some food for thought. I like to think it through and see what we can rule out. Go ahead.
The biggest problem I have with this is that the one parent walks up to the scene, reaches in his pocket, and pulls Noah's teeth out of his fucking pocket and drops them by the body. Okay.
Now you keep saying that, but how do we know that happened? I mean, I know it's getting ahead of the story, but how do we know that happened? Is that
because there was an eyewitness
testimony? Yeah. There was an eyewitness to it. Okay.
Yes. Sorry, I should have said that. My apologies.
No worries.
All right.
Or post-mortem or anti-mortem, the ones that caused his death, because there's so much blunt force trauma. It seems like it was difficult for the ME to make a determination. Obviously the cause of death, but not the manner.
All this goes back to the only thing we know for.
One of the things that I need to make sure I'm correct on when I say this, but from what I understand, okay, Jack came to the scene and the shorts were found away from him or something. And I want to, if I'm wrong about this, my apologies. I will correct myself. But if I remember, because it's been 2 years since I've covered this, but Jack came and picked up those shorts and went back to the house and brought some other shorts back. Okay.
Wow.
That's the understanding that I got from this in the one interview that I had listened to. So don't take that and run with it yet, folks. Just give me a minute on that. But I think that may be what happened. So, excuse me.
Wow.
Certain about the case. Presgrove sustained multiple blunt force injuries, but we can't be sure what they were. If we're talking about the autopsy, we know the cause of death. That's multiple blunt force injuries, but there is no manner of death right now. It's listed as undetermined, and there was quite a lengthy time between Noah Presgrove's death and then when the autopsy was released. So what do you make of all that?
Well, I think that the investigators, both the medical examiners, investigators, and the police were trying to do a thorough investigation, collaborate between the two departments and come up with a manner. And it sounds like they just couldn't. It sounds like they tried, but they couldn't, whether it be from lack of physical evidence or unreliable interviews. It sounds like they couldn't. I've seen it a few times, but it's very rare that happens.
What's also rare, or at least unusual, is law enforcement's stance on the possibility of a hit and run. At first, that's what authorities believed happened, but as the investigation went on, that came into question. The Jefferson County Sheriff has even said publicly he doesn't believe it was a hit and run. And we've talked about how it appears, at least from the jump, that this could have been a car crash, that at least the severity of Presgrove's injuries kind of line up with that. But now we have investigators saying there was no debris on the side of the road that usually happens when there's some sort of vehicular collision, that they aren't able to recreate any sort of crash.
And that was a big deal with this when they were looking into the thought of maybe him walking down the road drunk and a car came by and hit him. Okay. You would expect there to be like headlight lenses busted or pieces of a fender or a grill or something. Okay. There was nothing on the road except for him. No pieces of anything. And if somebody hit and ran, they wouldn't have the time, nor would they want to stop to clean it up and take back off, is what they're trying, the point they're making with this. And that was made in another interview that I watched on this about this as well. So I just wanted to clarify what they're talking about so you guys get it. Sorry.
So they don't believe that it was a crash. So if it's not a crash, what was it? Could it have been murder?
Certainly, it certainly could have been murder. Like I said, the injuries were so significant that we don't know which injury killed him. He's got so many injuries that could have proved fatal. Like I said, I don't know if he was dumped on the side of the road and then he's struck by a vehicle. And again, if I read it correctly, they're saying they don't think it was a hit and run. Now,
so I want to comment on that.
Yep.
Again, it does go in. I'm just putting it out there. It does go to the idea of a sudden event. If he's got so many injuries that are so extensive and they can't determine cause of death exactly, it suggests a massive impact, right? It does seem to have that, because it's like if he had died and then was beaten more or whatever, they would be able to see some of that in the autopsy report. But the fact that it sounds like he's saying like there was so much damage done, and I'm going to put my own wording, in such a short amount of time, that it looks like massive damage was done to him, like a car hitting him. But again, they say that they don't think it was a hit and run.
And right in the beginning of this, when I first watched and went through this, I thought maybe he was like rambling or wandering down the road drunk and a semi came by and hit him. Okay. And a semi is a bigger vehicle. You wouldn't maybe have as much damage to the vehicle, so on and so forth.
Right.
Sometimes
right.
Semis don't even know they hit shit. You know, I know that for a fact. I've seen those teams.
Right.
So at the same time, that could have, but then there's other things that pointed this out to me that made me go, no, maybe not. So yeah. Absolutely.
And again, somebody could have run him over on the property and then took his body and dumped it, and it would still have the same effect of, because again, being hit by a car is being hit by a car. The question is, when did he get hit by the car and where did he get hit by the car, if he got hit by a car?
Yeah. And the other problem though is, like, with some of the injuries, a lot of them relate to like road rash. Okay. Like gravel burn and like road burn and stuff like that. So there's another thing to think about during when you're thinking about this. So,
all right.
Or really, a tall vehicle, it could be a hit and they don't know, that they weren't sure what happened, especially semis wouldn't even really feel that. But yeah, if it's a vehicle, a car, there's going to be a transfer. There's going to be a transfer anyway on the undercarriage of whatever runs somebody over. But in this case, it could be a hit and they don't know they hit them.
By the way, I have to, which is going to drive Sausage Biscuits is really annoyed that we're talking. This is a commentary show. If you wanted to go watch the Law and Crime video without our commentary, you can do that. Like, so it's kind of funny. It's like, but oh my God, I'm going to have to leave. They won't fucking stop talking. Just play the video. I'm like, dude, the video in its entirety is available at Law and Crime. Just leave our show, go over there and watch it there if you don't want commentary. Anyways. It's just funny when people are like, I always laugh when people tell me, oh, would you shut the hell up? Like, it's a commentary show. If you wanted to watch the raw video, just watch the raw video. Anyways.
Yeah. Right Turn Clyde's got a decent point with this too. So that's another thing we can get into after the fact.
Might come forward and say, well, wait a minute, I did feel a little bump, driving down the street, or they just don't want to talk about it.
When first responders got there, they had received 911 calls that some of the motorists nearby had thought it was a deer initially. They didn't know that it was a body. So is it possible if a semi driver was going through that area and hit something, they thought it was a deer rather than a person, and that's why they didn't turn around or report it?
Yes, absolutely. Especially if he was laying down already when he was struck. I mean, if you're standing up and you're struck and there's that front impact with the vehicle and the person, well, you're more than likely to know that, regardless if you're a semi, if you're in a semi or not. If the person's standing upright and you strike somebody or strike something standing upright, you're going to have damage to the front of the vehicle. If he's on the ground already and the vehicle rolls over him, that's a different story.
The issue
also, I have to say, this is a stupid way to think about it, that if it was a semi and the bumper's up high and he was sitting on the ground, the bumper would hit him in the head pretty much, right? But again, that starts to get crazy trying to figure out the logic of it. But
most definitely, yes, sir.
Investigators say it was not a hit and run, but they also say it was not a murder. I think what's so mysterious about this case is they say it's not a hit and run. They say it's not murder, likely, but they don't know what it is, and it's still so suspicious, mysterious. We're not sure where the investigation is headed. So what is the next step for officials who are looking into this case?
They're going to need something. They're going to need someone to talk about what they saw, try to figure out how he got where he got. Did he just walk away? Did somebody drop him off? Obviously, I'm sure they looked into ride shares and things like that to see if he Ubered somewhere. And again, it's just there's going to have to be a break in the case that comes from someone who has some knowledge. Now, absent an accident, a vehicular accident, or a murder, a beating death, I mean, what else is there? He couldn't have fallen out of an airplane. I mean, he has some significant injuries.
Fallen.
With that.
He's just saying he couldn't. I think he was just laughing about that. He didn't fall out of an airplane.
Oh yeah. One of the other
Yeah.
theories was that he was thrown out of a vehicle too while it was moving at a high rate of speed. So just give you guys that too.
Be caused in a couple of different ways. Obviously, the most logical is a motor vehicle accident. Again, like we spoke of, we don't know if he's already down and deceased from a beating and then struck by a car, or if he just passes out on the side of the road and gets struck by a car. So that's a couple of things that are going to be very, very difficult to determine.
So all this leads us back to that weekend-long party, the last time anyone for sure saw Presgrove alive. But that angle of the investigation has some issues too.
The last time anyone for sure
party,
saw
kind of
Presgrove
ongoing Labor Day, 22nd birthday party, lots of drinking and hijinks going on. Does that make things a little bit more complicated now if investigators are going back? Because a lot of these party goers were likely drunk or drinking, went to sleep late, so their memories might be a little hazy.
Absolutely, it does. And again, the more time passes, the less their memory is. And when you're dealing with intoxication, what else is going on there, it's likely that they forgot pretty much all about the event, depending on their level of inebriation. But the longer it goes out, the less viable these interviews are. It seems like, as an investigator, that's a really tough thing to start with. A bunch of witnesses who maybe not recall what happened or have a limited memory of what happened.
And if some of these do remember what happened, let's say, but they do say I was intoxicated or inebriated in some way, can we even for sure 100% believe what they're saying because they were under the influence of something?
Yes. If you're Dylan Mortensen and you're completely hammered and can't remember details, you can believe everything they fucking say, regardless of whether they remembered or pretty much don't know if they were dreaming it, or pretty much it could have been something they imagined, or maybe it didn't happen at all. But whatever they say, you can fucking believe it, regardless if they're hammered or not.
Yes.
So that, if it's Dylan, you can believe everything she says, no matter what.
Only if it's Dylan, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much.
Something.
Well, when we take statements in interviews, one of the questions the state's attorney is going to ask is, are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol at this time? Were you under the influence at the time of the incident? So that's questions that are asked, and it does go to the credibility of the statement for sure. It hurts the credibility of the statement.
So the intoxication level at the party kind of poses an issue in terms of witness testimony. But there's another bit of evidence from the party that can't be disputed. We've also talked about the people in this small town, close-knit group. It sounds like it was a big group of friends that were at this party. And
fucking small towns.
Were documenting the night on social media. So we talked about how they were likely drunk, and I'm sure spoke with investigators. But is this also something that investigators would then look at, their Snapchats or Instagrams, all of the photos or texts that they may have sent that night?
Absolutely. It's all part of it. The first thing you got to do is figure out who was there. Now, where social media plays a role in this is if they are on something that's, and I don't know, one of these Snapchat or one of them goes away as soon as you send it. I'm not sure which one that is, but anything that has something out there. Now, if as an investigator, if I'm reviewing this and I look around, I can see other people, even people that don't want to be identified or don't want to come forward. I can use another source to identify that person. Now I got another person to talk to. Social media is valuable in that point, in that area, to identify more potential witnesses. Who's there? We need to find out who's there. We need an inventory of who's there. And again, like we talked about, this is a 2-day party. There's probably people coming and going throughout the course of the 2 days. So social media, any kind of video evidence, and we spoke of this before too, any kind of video evidence is crucial. Now, I don't know what kind of surveillance systems they have out there in the rural area where this happened, but I'm sure the investigators looked into that. I'm sure there's a social media team that looked into that.
That also poses the question, did something happen at the party that hasn't been made public? The two main locations in this case are where Presgrove's body was found along the road, and then the party that he was at before this. Is it possible that something happened at the party that he actually died there and then later was moved to this location? What do you think?
Right.
I think that's very possible.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Where have we seen that before?
I don't know the time frame or whether or not the investigators went back to search for any kind of evidence at the party. I know that we obviously know there's a couple of arguments that go on throughout the course of this 2-day party. One of them's physical. We know that he crashes on an ATV. He could have sustained.
I'm gonna let. You want me to leave? I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. You want me to let it play or leave it paused? Okay.
Leave it paused, and I'll talk about while you're away the teeth thing, because this is what this idea that the accident happened somewhere else and the body was staged later would, in my opinion, exactly explain why somebody takes the teeth that they found at the actual scene and said, shit, we got to put these teeth near the body because somebody's going to look for the teeth and go, where the hell are all the teeth? So you pick up the teeth from where the actual accident happened and his teeth were knocked out, and you bring him to the crime scene and you just scatter them there and go, there, now the teeth are at the crime scene. Explain that shit. Like that's what immediately I thought. If somebody literally, again, I don't know who the eyewitness is and I don't know what their credibility is, but if somebody came up like Jack or Jack's dad or whatever and took a pocket full of teeth and dumped them at the scene, it suggests that accident happened somewhere else and they were bringing the teeth to the new staged scene to make sure that the teeth were there with the body. That's what it looks like to me. But again, they also just go ahead.
If it was just okay, while that was all going on there, I was having AI help me walk through the stuff from the autopsy. And so if this was just a simple, and this car, if it was caused by a vehicle, this was not a simple accident. Somebody's car, truck, whatever, was totally screwed up from this. Okay. So
yeah.
How, if that's the case, how did they get the teeth?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You're not going to sift through a car wreck and find teeth. The teeth are knocked out somehow. From what I can ascertain, this was a combination of two things. That's just my opinion.
Well, yeah. To your point, and I'm going to get graphic, but if you were hit so hard by a car that it knocked your teeth out of your face, it might actually be hard to find those teeth and where they got knocked to.
Right.
But if you hit someone's, if you hit someone in the face with a baseball bat and knocked their teeth out, their teeth are going to largely be there at the scene. I know that's super graphic, but that's the other.
Why were they in his father's pocket? Did he get for them and found them to erase any, in my opinion, any proof that something happened like that there? Okay.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Sorry, guys. I was as quick as I could be.
No, I mean, and again, if he was hit on the side of the road, the teeth being found by his body might actually be suspicious. If the impact was so hard it knocked his teeth out, it'd probably be hard to find all those teeth. But so I want to know more about the teeth. But people keep telling me, oh my God, there's more. So I realize I'm coming to this case late, and so I know a lot of you are like, wait till you see what fuckery is happening next. Okay, well, we'll keep going.
My understanding it was two teeth that were pulled from the pocket of the parent, dropped there to basically make it look like they were knocked out there. I guess that's how I took it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Right Turn Clyde is making a really good point right there. the
timeline's gonna
timeline is
make
what
it.
makes everybody go, so yeah, in the witnesses. Yeah,
Well, one of the things I love to do is I build timelines. So I've got a timeline already started for this, and I'm going to keep plugging stuff into my timeline because again, if this is a case that people are interested in, I know I'm intrigued, so I'm already sucked in. So
Yeah.
I'm going to start building the timeline, and
I told
so
you
this-
last night, like, if you want to get into this, I was excited because I'm not excited because of the case, guys, because we're true crime people, guys, period. I
Yeah,
mean, we're basically generic detectives, okay? This is what we live for. And when I got into this case, I was like upside down with this, guys. That's how crazy it was. So I figured you would kind of be into it too.
Yep.
On we go.
Sustained an injury, an internal injury there, and maybe passed away from a internal bleed that nobody knew about. They loaded him up, mismatched his shoes, threw some pants on him, and tried to get him away from the scene. There's a lot of things that could have happened that way. And if something did happen that way, someone should be talking about that.
So if that's the case, that something happened, I mean, we've heard these stories before where there's these drunken parties, an accident happens, friends try to cover it up. We're almost a year out since Presgrove's death. If that's really what happened, why has that not come to the forefront yet? Nobody seems to be talking about that.
Sounds like no one's talking about it. If there were, and again, we know that
and that's the thing, is they were threatening these kids, telling them, you need to talk about this. Whatever you know, you need to tell. They wouldn't do it. They refused to do it, which told me immediately, because they know that there's going to be some accountability put into play right there with these kids, okay?
Right. It sounds like people are protecting somebody. They don't. The people who are shutting their mouth are either one, afraid of retaliation if they tell the truth, or two, want the person who did it to get away with it, so they're not saying anything about it.
Yeah. Tiggy's got another good point. There was a clump of hair and skin, like a piece of scalp with hair attached to it, found on the backside of Noah's body. So that'll tell you how serious this was. Okay. So
and somebody said his wallet and his hat are still missing. Is that they're still missing?
From last I saw, they were still missing. Yes.
All right.
I think they were destroyed because there was probably some kind of proof on them, maybe, and I think those things were burnt. That's my opinion. Like burn up in a fire to get rid of evidence.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
the police did extensive investigations, and I think there's a private investigator involved now who shared some information with the police that they uncovered. Right now, all the police investigation looks like it's going to a dead end. If this private investigator can open up another avenue, police are definitely going to follow it. I mean, it's been a year. There can't be too many people talking about it. But if there are, and this private investigator can uncover that, then the police have another avenue. Right now, it sounds like it's a dead end. Hopefully.
Yeah, the private investigator is probably going to do more police work than the police on this case, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
We need actual
can you pause for a second?
Speculate. We can.
I hate to do this, but my wife's not feeling well, and so she's laying down, and my dog is barking, and when it barks like this, it means something that it needs to go outside really bad or whatever. So I need to step away. If you guys can talk as a panel and not go too far in the video, that'd be great. I will be listening in my head seat, but I got to let him out because my wife's not responding, and I know the dog.
No, you're good.
Yeah, so we could wait on the video till he comes back.
We can talk.
Yeah, we can.
So, Dago, what's the deal with he had two different color sneakers?
He was wearing, first off, guys, this video was released August 20th of 2024, and you hear him saying this is a year ago, so 2023 is when this went down, okay? And I have all sorts of shit in my Discord on this, if I know Molly, because Molly was my digger on this and my researcher, and she pulled, her and Mama Bear both, they yanked everything on this that we could find. So I have a lot to show you after this. Yeah, somebody had put, I think, somebody put two different shoes on him. Okay.
Yeah, why? Why the hell would they do that? Though?
Drunk. Being drunk.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. There's a lot with that. There's a lot of weird shit that went on with this too, you guys. And again, like I said, nobody would talk. There were some Facebook posts that we found that there was one kid that wanted to talk. I believe he was threatened that if he did, he was going to regret it. because he knew certain things and he swore up and down in a Facebook post he posted that this is what happened, not that, so on and so forth. He was threatened.
So a question. So do you think maybe, so he was beat up, possibly, whatever, someone attacked him and in a fight, and then because of how he, obviously he was heavily intoxicated and with that, and then from the fight, and then possibly, leaving him like that, and then he still got hit by some kind of vehicle, possibly, or something.
It's possible, but when that was brought up, partly what was stated by that one kid was he didn't get hit by a car. Okay, he wasn't hit by a car. I know what happened. And somebody said something about, you better keep your mouth shut, blah blah blah, type shit. Yeah, right. I have videos of the fight happening and so on and so forth. Like I said. And it could have been that Noah himself put on two wrong shoes. Okay, I think one of them was like a, let me remember. What are those shoes called? I have a pair and I can't remember the name. Hey Dudes. One of them was like a Hey Dude, and the other one was a tennis shoe of sorts. So he could have just been drunk and put two shoes on and thought he was going to go for a walk. Jesus, that was quick. I
want to chime in on that. Like, I'm sorry to say that in my lifetime, I've been drunk enough where I've put on the wrong clothes or mismatched something, because when you're hammered, it just looks, oh yeah, I'll grab that shoe. You just don't make the right same decisions.
You're seeing things through beer goggles or whatever. So yeah, one was a Hey Dude and one was something else, or sorry guys, something like that. So yeah.
But if he was alleged, like, supposedly the last time he was seen was at the party, correct?
Yeah. Supposedly, yes.
I mean, I would assume that he went to the party with two of the correct shoes on.
Yes.
Right.
And I just did, while you guys were talking, I looked up a summary of the case just to get like a quick synopsis of it. And there were people that were alleging there was a fight.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There
right. So, I mean, I can see a scenario where shit goes down at a party. Everybody's drunk.
Mm-hmm.
People are. And did I hear you guys saying earlier that he was kind of a troublemaker?
He was.
Yeah.
Well,
belligerent that night for sure.
He was with, yeah. It was that drunken, arrogant cockiness. He was an athletic kid. He was very popular. That kid that, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Because he's being a drunken ass.
Yeah. Because you could see a scenario if a bunch of dudes are drunk. Yep. I mean, we've all been to parties, right? Where dudes get drunk and shit gets out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been at plenty of them where shit gets real out of hand, and melees break out. I mean, I've been around them, and it's like.
By the way, Robin's got a point. She's trying to get in at some point here, real quick.
What do we know the topography or like what this property, was it like around like a lot of like a mountainous area, or was there a lot of like high ground?
Yeah, I thought about the fall. I thought about the fall too, if that's right.
No, I don't believe so. I think it was in Oklahoma. I think it was like country farm area type stuff, but
but there are places in Oklahoma that have like cliff areas and things like that. That's why I'm asking. I don't know the area that this happened.
Not that I know of. It was all flat land.
Yeah, it's funny, Rob. I want to get back to JJ's fight thing, because I think if anybody knows drunken fights, it's probably JJ. But anyways, where I was gonna go with that is, I thought the same thing when the guy made the joke about, well, he didn't fall out of an airplane. I thought, well, what if it was though a big fall?
Right. The only thing I know, the only thing I know geographically that was different than just standard flatland was there was like a water source that was real close to this area, a large water source. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it came up in there like a lake or a river or something. I can't think of what it is. That's the only geographical thing that was different from, just like I said, just a regular old flatland area.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you have this crazy party, and then somebody turns up dead with trauma, blunt force trauma wounds. And yes, they could have been hit on the side of the road if they were drunk walking at night.
Red
but
River.
Like,
there it
but
is.
like, that's obviously possible, but also it's plausible that shit got out of hand at a party and a big fight breaks out and he's going wild and other dudes are going wild and when people are drunk, like
I think it has a relation to him damaging the side-by-side ATV and or the four-wheeler. And him being an ass, maybe, getting cocky, arrogant, and it broke out into something worse. And I also have had a thought, just so you guys know, that there's a lot of trucks that these people own out here. It's that area.
Yeah,
that
everybody has
he was
a
just
truck,
show
a
off,
4x4,
and
yeah.
right, that they could have been screwing around. He could have been up in the back of a pickup truck. They're driving down the road going 75 miles an hour, and he gets thrown out of the back of the truck. Imagine what that would do to your body. Okay.
And look, I won't name the case, but a lot of people know it. But this wouldn't, it's not out of the realm of possibility that some rich kid, like there's been cases, rich kid drives a boat and he's intoxicated, he gets his friend killed, and then everybody covers up for him, right? Everybody covers up for him because
what case is that?
Can't have the attorney's son go down for murder. We'll just cover that shit up, and that happens a lot too.
Well, what is the person that just posted? We just posted that comment that lives in that town. I wonder if they've heard any rumblings.
Sooner Deadhead, yeah, it's all flat grasslands. Thank you. I think they live there.
Yeah.
But I mean, they might have heard some rumors, if they're boots on the ground in that area.
They posted exactly what I've been claiming that it is a huge cover up. There's the reason for it is because of who is involved in it, from my opinion. Again, like I said, I think Robin asked about law enforcement. Who knows who, what knows, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Robin, it looks like this.
Flatter than shit. That's flatter than shit.
Right. Like I said, the only thing near there is the Red River, from my understanding. So there's no mountainous area.
Here's the good news and the bad news. Good news and bad news. The good news is the bad news is pacing. We're gonna have to pick up the pace so we can finish this whole. We usually go about 2 hours, and people to their credit who said, "Oh my God, this DA guy never shuts the fuck up." I do talk a lot, but so let's finish this video for sure because I want to make sure we can finish the video.
Yep.
And
you got to put it back up there.
Oh, I got to put it on screen. Oh, there you go.
But we need actionable evidence if we're going to bring a prosecution. And we talk about this when we talk about these cases. It's one thing to know what happened, but you have to prove what happened. You have to prove it was a crime, and you have to bring people to justice for this. And that's a pretty extensive process, especially in a case where the farther you go out, the harder it is to put all those things together.
That brings us to the next part of the investigation, one independent from Oklahoma State detectives. You spoke about the private investigator, and that is something that the Presgrove family has brought in. So what would this PI bring to the table that Oklahoma investigators haven't yet?
A couple of things. One, private investigators don't have other cases that they're working on. They probably do, but they try to dedicate their time to the case that they're being paid for at the time. Police have other investigations and limited resources. The private investigator can dedicate more time. Plus, sometimes people don't like to talk to the police, and they might talk to the investigator.
With the private investigator out in the community, there's one person whose memory of the night is invaluable. There's a major player in this case who's Jack Newton. That's Noah Presgrove's best friend from elementary school onward, and he was with Noah that night. Some people online are kind of speculating and pointing the finger at him. Maybe he knew what happened and isn't revealing it to police. But
look at that big truck.
I mean, he's appeared in People magazine.
Look at that big truck.
That was my point. They all have big trucks.
Right? But that's what I'm saying. Case in point, big ass truck.
Yes.
On a par for the course.
Exactly.
Obviously talked to investigators and said, here's everything I know. But some people are saying potentially he knows something. So do you think the best friend would be a major source for investigators?
If he was there the whole time, yes, you're more than likely to be with your buddy. Your buddy's more than likely to be looking out for you in a situation where you can't look out for yourself. Coming forward, speaking to all the people that he's spoken to, I mean, I guess that's a good thing, but we've seen in cases before, and again, I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. We've seen in cases before, especially in homicides, sometimes the most helpful person who knows the most
is
the offender.
And we do know in the night when they were partying, these two friends apparently got in some sort of fight or argument about a girl, it sounds like. They said eventually they made up, but could that have been something that's
Pause.
Things got kind of carried away?
I was 19 once. You know, I know that you argue with your friends over girls all the time. Yeah, I think that's part of it. I mean, that could be part of it, that it got out of control. But if there's a physical altercation to the point where this kid is hurt that bad, there's going to be more than one person that knows about it. And if somebody that cares about this person who's at this party sees this, I can't see any reason why they would not come forward.
Just to be clear, this isn't something that investigators have suggested or pointed to, and they haven't released the names of any suspects or even persons of interest. But that's not to say they don't have any. Do you think it's possible that investigators in Oklahoma know more than they're letting on? If in fact there was a crime here, sometimes they like to keep information closer to the vest in order to preserve a future case. So could they know something they're not telling us?
Sure, absolutely. And that's something that, you know, if you don't want to compromise your investigation, if they have some evidence, I guarantee you, or some other information, that they're moving forward with it. Sometimes we don't want that out there. It's not like they're hiding anything, but they're trying to develop it more so you can become part of an actionable prosecution. Sometimes if stuff gets leaked out there, the person of interest might get tipped, and then it kind of screws everything up, or more people will get involved. So if they have something that they're working on, I wouldn't be surprised if they're keeping it close to the vest, as you said.
I think what's tough about this case is that his body was found in September of last year. We're nearing mid-August, so almost the 1-year anniversary of all this. His family is obviously still looking for answers, as is the nation. But what are the odds of us finding out what really happened this far out from his death?
I'm an old school homicide guy. There's no case closed until we find an offender or an explanation of what happened. So I think there's always some hope. You know, there's cases that we've solved 30 years down the road. I hope for this family's sake it doesn't take something like that. But there's always hope. I can't ever give up hope. I mean, there's, like we talked about, there's people that know what happened. It's just finding that right person. And hopefully this investigator can do it, and they can collaborate with the police, and then we can get something for this family. I hate to use the word closure, but at least a sense of what happened to their kid.
In the nearly 1 year since Presgrove's death, his family has not stopped looking for answers. Presgrove's family has been very outspoken, saying that they want answers. Obviously, what happened to their son, brother, nephew, all of these things, they're looking for answers. But they say someone out there knows something. Someone has to know something. Do you think that's the case? Someone out there does know something?
Absolutely. I think somebody knows something. Now, try to put yourself in a position of these poor people. No idea what happened. They know that their child was killed in a violent fashion, regardless of whether or not it was like a murder, like we spoke of, or if it was a vehicle accident. But they don't know how. And they've got law enforcement who they rely on, like we all rely on, trying to do investigation, and they can't come up with answers. It's got to be crushing for the family. But I agree. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows the direction he left. Somebody may have left with him. And certainly whoever caused the injury, be it a motorist or another person, they know. Unless, of course, like I said, sometimes these semis, we've had cases where they hit something in the road. They don't even know what it is. They just keep going. But somebody knows something. Somebody knows something that happened at the party and when he left.
What are the next steps in the investigation? Because I know that it's still open. People are still talking about it, especially approaching the 1-year marker. What do you think is next for investigators?
Again, they have to continue to do interviews. The problem with the crime scene, if you want to call it that, the house, is anything that was there a year ago is not going to be there. Most likely. It'd be very difficult to go back and try to find physical evidence from a year ago. I'm not saying it's impossible. It'd be very difficult. Plus, you have to articulate probable cause to a judge for a search, and it's a year past. So the likelihood, and here's what I find with a lot of judges, the likelihood of evidence to be present 1 year later does not warrant violating the people's right to privacy. I've run into that more than once. So the interviews are crucial. This investigator is crucial. They just have to keep talking to people. And I found out in my business, you got to keep talking to people. You can't solve a crime from behind a desk. You got to get out and talk to people.
Right now, Presgrove's death is still under investigation by.
Okay, that's it for that. There's a lot to this, guys. It's pretty insane.
Yeah.
So I do have the photo. Thank you, Molly. The photographs, the videos. So here, I thank you, Molly, again. The kid that was trying to speak out on this, his name was Caden. The post he made said, "My name is Caden. I was the owner of the red Cherokee and the owner of the other gray Hey Dude found on Noah's body. I know y'all might have questions to ask me. I will do my best to expose all of the people lying about Noah, aka spreading misinformation and saying stuff that isn't true. I haven't been active on social media because I've only been talking to people who need to know, the police, the family, and the detectives." Sorry. Sorry, you guys. I did not want to come on here due to people twisting what I will say about this. From the start, I have told the God's honest truth and nothing less. Noah was my friend, is my friend, and can't let all these people keep on lying about him. I was woke up at 5:15. Okay, now this is important, guys. Sorry again. I was woke up at 5:15 due to Jack bursting through the door of the house, alerting everyone that Noah was dead. I woke up 3 boys and looked for my Hey Dude for about 2 minutes, ending up not finding it. So I went with one shoe and ran to my red Jeep Cherokee and drove a mile down the road to where a white semi and a white service truck was. These are the 2 people that called 911, the white semi driver and the white service truck driver. Okay. We were there for about 2 to 5 minutes before being told that we needed to leave. Noah was wearing black shorts when we showed up. Okay, this is what I was trying to explain to you guys. Noah was wearing where'd it go? Black shorts when we showed up. His body was tampered with, and I will stand by that in court in any test. When we got back to the house, everyone went back to sleep like nothing happened. I stayed up the whole time thinking to myself, how and why did this happen? Because at the time we were under the assumption that he had got hit by a car. Stop spreading lies and misinformation on this. How would you like it if it was your family member or friend in that situation? I'm sure that you would feel the same as I do. Call me a liar. Whatever you have to say won't change the truth. I know what I saw. So that's where the whole shorts thing comes in. That is the kid that was on Facebook that I come to find out later down the road on this, that he was threatened, that he better shut up, blah, 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 so on and so forth and all that. And it wasn't just the kids telling him to shut up. It was other people, other adult parents and stuff. So, here, let me show you the video, a video. Yeah, this is one of them. 1 minute. Okay, so this is one of. Go ahead.
My picture was my thing was up there. Was that yours?
This is one of the videos of his final moments before he vanished.
Okay.
It kind of shows you like actively like the way the mode he was in before he disappeared. Okay. All right, that one's back.
There you go.
Hold on. Sorry, you guys.
Come on. Yes, come on, Shady. Oh! Damn. This right now.
Okay, did you see that? Here, let me show you.
Did he throw a punch?
You see this guy right here?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Caden,
Okay.
the one that spoke out. And yeah, this is what they're doing right now. Yeah, he's really drunk here, if you can't tell.
Somebody said in the chat that the guy that you pointed out was Isaac because Caden's doing the recording.
See, I was told that the kid in the back, well, maybe I have it backwards then, but okay. Whoever said it, thank you, because I thought it was Caden was in the background and Isaac was recording, so my apologies.
We're not sure then. Yeah.
Around.
Yeah.
Again, it's been 2 years. And then what else is this other video? All right, this is another video from that night that was sent to us. Some of this stuff was sent to us from people there.
Oh wow.
That know the truth. I'll just put it that way. Or that want the truth to be known. There's that one. Sorry. This is the house, the area, all of this stuff. where the party was, I'm sorry.
So it doesn't look like it was on private property, like fenced property.
No, but
so where were they riding ATVs? Just out in the
back behind it, from my understanding, out and around the property. Yeah. A lot of property, as you can see.
Is this just a YouTuber that pulled in there and recorded it or something?
I believe so. So there's the property, the house where the party was. There's just some standard pictures of Noah, and you can, guys, you know what idiots we are when we were younger and we were drinking. The things we did. There's a photograph of Noah, showing just pictures, just general pictures. Okay. Let's see. There's a lot. All that stuff we just saw in the video.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the friend, him and the friend back and forthing with the hit me thing. You hit me, I'll hit you type shit. You know, this is him and Jack, his best friend, right there. And if you look at Noah's like stomach and stuff, see all the writing and stuff all over him, like marker writing. I mean, again, this is what these kids do at these parties. I guess we did it too.
Yeah, what's that? Is that a rifle? Looks like a rifle.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if it's a BB gun or if it's a rifle, but look at his face. Okay. I don't know what to think.
Can you zoom in more on that?
Yeah, of course. I think I should be able to. Hold on.
It's weird.
I want to see both the face and the gun, but
yeah, hold on a minute. Try it again. Let's see. Will this let me do this? 1 minute. Let me move this over here. Try it this way. There's that, and then I mean, it looks like a rifle to me, but it could be a BB gun. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
Can you scroll down to it? All I see is his face right now. Can you scroll down to the gun?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that kind of looks like up a little bit again. I want to see the barrel.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
It's pretty thick barrel for a BB gun.
It is.
It is. That looks like, it looks like a pump. It looks like a pump shotgun kind of thing with that slide at the bottom. But
yeah. I thought maybe a 22, but I didn't see that.
It looks like a slide. It looks like that looks like a slide for racking a shotgun shell.
Yeah, definite. Could be. So there. Oh, let me move these out of the way first. 1 minute. Okay.
But I guess over there, yeah, it's probably not
right. Yeah,
weird
it's not unusual.
have. I mean,
No.
look where they are. They're in the
mix
middle of the
alcohol
country.
Right.
Trucks and guns. That's what they have.
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
This was the
wait,
girl.
Go back to that. I was gonna say, yeah, her face was redacted earlier. They just had her face unredacted there.
I'm sorry, I have it blown up too big. Yeah, there we go.
Because they had her face redacted earlier.
Yeah, this is the girl that was
doing the slapping.
So that's the one that was doing. Okay, that was the chick that was slapping them.
Yeah, and then this is Avery, whose name was brought into this a lot. Okay. I think Avery was that. That was the friend of his. That yeah. Okay. Tiggy's saying the Snapchat girl's mother collected all the guns in the morning after the discovery of Noah. So think about that for a minute.
Right?
Yeah. Let me see. Did I have more, Molly? This is where he was found. How far it was? It was literally a mile from the house, folks.
Show it, blow it up. I
Great
want to
shot.
see it.
Yep, absolutely. 1 mile from the house. Well, let me see if I can make that bigger for you guys.
I see.
Damn this thing. Come on. Here we go. Noah was found there, and there's where they were. So it's that great shot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely. And then like you can see, it's all flat land around him, all the way around. It's pretty wild, guys. Let me see. I think that was it, Molly. Is that it? Oh, nope. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Molly. God, I love you. I do. So this is the Emmys report. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now some of this is going to be triggering to you guys. So trigger warning straight out of the gate. I'll say, if it's all in here, I know for a fact. This is all just.
Yeah, I was gonna put that parental. It goes over some faces, but I thought, well, if it's trigger warning, maybe we should put that on there. But
yeah. Let me see. Multiple blunt force injuries. This is all what was listed as reported on autopsy and findings. Okay, let me make this bigger for you guys to see again. Let me know when you can see the wording there.
Yeah, I can see it pretty good there.
Okay. This was again Noah Alexander Nichols, 19. Birth date was of 04. That just so you guys know, that's who this is. Jessica Gary was the investigator. Jason Robert Parks is the pathology assistant. So, multiple blunt force injuries to the head and the neck, abraded avulsion laceration on the left top of the head, which is what I explained to you about the scalp and all that stuff.
So the scalp,
okay?
Yeah.
Subjacent abrasions on the lateral left eyebrow, corner of the left eye, and left cheek. Hold on, let me move this over for you guys to make sure it's not cut off. There we go. Front of left ear, and associated lacerations to the left side of the neck. So the entire left side of his head and face was just like trashed. Okay.
Right.
Abrasions on the right back of the head, behind the right ear, and subjacent posterior right neck. Broken upper and lower teeth with abrasions in the midline mucosa of the upper lip. And now I'm going to tell you that right now, that to me says his face impacted something, whether it's ground or something impacted his face. One of the two.
Right. Say, either his face impacted something or something impacted his face. Right?
Absolutely. So laceration on the left surface of the tongue, subcutaneous scalp and the subgaleal hemorrhages on the partial, occipital, bilateral, temporal, and left frontal regions of the head. So pretty much the whole thing on the period. The left temporalis muscle, or I never said that right. Temporalis muscle laceration and hemorrhage, fractures of the left parietal, temporal, and frontal bones. The basal skull fractures, splitting the middles. This is what's crazy to me. I never could get past it. Splitting the middle base of the skull into two. Now, I don't know if you guys understand. The middle base of the skull split right in half. Just like
that's Yeah.
That's so hard to do, you guys. Okay.
Yes.
All right, where was I at? Sorry. I hate this. Anterior and posterior and extending to the left temporal and sphenoid bones and around the occipital bone. The occipital is around the eyes, for those of you who don't get it. Additional separate fractures of the occipital bone extending into the edges of the foramen, magnum, and occipital condyles. Subdural hemorrhage of approximately 20 millimeters. Bilateral I need glasses again. Arachnoid hemorrhage. Sorry about that, guys. Swelling of the brain with lacerations of the inferior surface of the left temporal lobe, brain stem, and its adjacent cerebral vessels and left cerebellum. The brain stem was severed.
So stop right there. So what I want to know is post-mortem, can the brain swell? Because does that suggest that he was alive when the brain swelled, or does the brain swell post-mortem? Like, did he die and then the brain swelled, or could it?
Brain usually would cause swelling from an impact to the brain, to the head,
while you're
to the
alive,
skull.
right? Or when your systems are still operating. Like, I don't know that you would get brain swelling if you're dead.
I don't know. That's interesting.
That's a good question.
I've never heard of that before. I've never heard of that, but I mean, I wouldn't imagine. Hold on here.
ChatGPT to the rescue or something here.
I would check it because I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Subdural hemorrhage of approximately 20 milliliters, bilateral subarachnoid hemorrhage, swelling of the brain with lacerations of the inferior surface of the left temporal lobe, brain stem, and its adjacent cerebral vessels and left cerebellum. Sorry. Cervical neck fracture at C1, 2, 6, and 7. Okay. And misalignment of C1 and occipital condyle, pneumocephalus and pneumorachis. Sorry. Again, it says multiple blunt force injuries. Manner of death is undetermined. Okay. The torso. That was just at the head, guys. So the torso had broad abrasions on the upper back containing black material. That's where I came to the idea that it was possible that he was drugged, because there's black material, I'm going to guess, as pavement or blacktop. You know what I'm saying? Abrasions showing combined linear and very size pinpoint to round to irregular individual patterns involving the left upper back, shoulder, posterior left arm, and left side of the torso. Abrasions on the right buttock. Abrasion with the very size pinpoint to round to irregular abrasions on the side of the left buttock. Lacerations of the right and left lungs. Okay. With contusions, left pulmonary vessels, left atrium of the heart, spleen, and proximal stomach. Soft tissue hemorrhage of the posterior upper chest cavity. Bilateral hemothoraces of at least 1,200 milliliters in total. Hemopericardium of at least 150 milliliters. Hemoperitonium of at least 200 milliliters. Bilateral scapular fractures. Bilateral posterior rib fractures as follows. The right, 1 through 5 and 8 ribs. The left, 2 through 5 ribs. Thoracic vertebral fractures, T1, 2, 4, 9, and 11. Bilateral pneumothoraces with left more than the right, and extremities, excuse me, abrasions on the right arm and forearm, left elbow, thighs, knees, legs, and right foot, side of the right ankle, and side of the right hip. Contusion on the back of the right heel. No evidence of fractures, unbelievably. So the opinion from this, and I'll tell you what mine is after, but in consideration of the circumstances surrounding the death, autopsy, examination, and toxicology result, the death of Noah Alexander Nichols is due to multiple blunt force injuries. The decedent was found naked, only wearing a pair of shoes on the side of the highway on the morning of September 4th of 23. There were no vehicle parts or debris observed on the scene. There's that. At this time, what transpired on how the body was found on the road having multiple blunt force injuries is unknown. Therefore, the manner of death is deemed undetermined. And then it explains here what the circumstances of the death were. This is actually kind of important. This is absolute facts from law enforcement. It says the decedent was a 19-year-old male found on the southbound side of the highway by a passing truck driver on the 4th of September of 23 at approximately 5:53 a.m. He was naked and was only wearing unmatching shoes. There was a pair of shorts found several feet from the decedent and was reported to be his. Excuse me. Additionally, there were 3 pieces of white metal chain. This is what I'm talking about here, okay? White metal chain, as well as part of a tooth present several feet from the decedent. Also, there was a clump of hair found within one of the lanes of the highway several feet from the decedent. Additionally, a clump of hair was observed on the right buttock without blood or tissue. The paved highway consisted of 2 lanes with shoulders on both sides and a speed limit of 65. The highway was poorly lit at night. There was no vehicle parts or debris observed on the scene. Further investigation revealed that the decedent was at a house party and drinking on September 3rd of 23. Then he rode an ATV Ranger vehicle with several men that had a rollover incident. The decedent was alive following the incident and returned to the party where he got into an argument with his girlfriend. The decedent left the house party and was not found until morning of September 4th of 23 on the side of the highway. The rest of this just explains how they found him and when they did the external examination on him.
Before you go away from this, go back, see if you can find that line again at the brain swelling. I want to share some information real quick. Also, I noticed somebody said the chain was his silver necklace. That I noticed they didn't say the size of the chain. So is that a possibility that it's his necklace? And then when they say chain,
it very well could be. Yeah, they said a white metal chain. So
yeah,
it could have very well been.
Also, I find that the clump of hair and scalp in the roadway is interesting, right? Because if it was a staged crime scene, would somebody have gone to the level of remembering to put some hair in the roadway to make it look like? So all these things I'm just going off the top of my head, but
it could be there was some attached to the backside of his body too, though.
That was the weird part. Yeah. I just wanted to see that. I wanted to give a point about the brain swelling because it stuck in my head and we had asked a question and I did look it up while we were doing it. I wanted to read it.
Yeah, right there. Swelling. Hold on. Let me get my cursor back.
Swelling of the brain with lacerations of the inferior surface. It's not real descriptive on the swelling of the brain. Okay.
But it does say there though that the left temporal lobe, brain stem, and its adjacent cerebral vessels and left cerebellum. So that has all been affected as well with this.
So what I got was when I asked the question, if there's brain swelling post-mortem, does it mean that the brain was swelled before death? Short answer, true brain swelling generally occurs before death. If it was documented in the autopsy, it usually means that the brain swelled while the person was still alive or during the dying process. And it goes on to say, what it actually means. It does say there are other things that cause brain swelling, like oxygen deprivation, drug overdose,
traumatic brain injury.
But yeah, the brain tends to, if there's brain swelling, it tends to happen before death. And I was just curious if that, again, when you're going on the idea that he could have been hit by a baseball bat, for example, if you're going on that kind of thing, was he still alive for a while? And did the brain swelling indicate that he was alive far before he succumbed to the injuries, or whether it was an instant? Because that's my thing. If he was instantly killed by a car,
right,
would the brain have swelled? That's what I was saying. Was there a time differential between the brain injury and the point of death, such that the brain could have swelled before he died, or if it had been an instant death, would the brain have swelled at all? I don't know.
I mean, based on that, if it was an instant, it probably wouldn't have swelled.
No, if it was instant death, there would have been.
What that's saying,
if
right?
He died slowly,
unless there were other factors in there, like drug use, or whatever, that made the brain
right
before. Yeah.
One thing that they repeated numerous times: there was no debris of a vehicle nearby.
Right.
Trucks have huge metal bumpers.
Yes.
Not like a normal bumper. I drove trucks, and literally they're massive metal battering rams basically on the front of the Mack trucks and different trucks, which protect the whole front of the the vehicle and the lights and everything because of deer. I mean, you hit driving on back roads in the mountains. There's elk, there's deer, there's all kinds of wildlife, and those bumpers, man, they will just destroy something. And the bumper might have dents on it, but it might not break a light, it might not break a fender or anything like that. So if he's on the side of the road, his left side, if he's walking in the right direction on a road that the vehicles are going the same direction, his left side is facing the road. Or if he's crossing the road, he gets hit from his left side, that a truck would send him flying. And if they didn't hit the brakes, there wouldn't be any skid marks. And I can tell you right now, truck drivers in Colorado, oftentimes, it happens all the time here. DA, it probably happens where you live.
I'll say this too, Joe, though. If he was walking down the road, and I'm only saying this because I've been to a few motor vehicle versus pedestrian accidents, okay, he would have been launched into that field. Okay, he wouldn't have been found on the side of the road like he was. He was right there on that line.
Yeah, if he had been
if he was crossing the road, though, what I'm saying is, let me workshop this idea in my head real quick. Okay. So if he's walking down the road and he's crossing the road, I'm not formulating it.
I got you.
What I think happened. I'm just saying, with trucks, like if he was crossing the road or somewhat in the road, if he's wasted, he might not have been perfectly on the side of the road, and he gets hit by a truck on his left side, and then it's the fall that created the other injury. So it sounded like the more major injuries were on his left side, which could also explain somebody with a bat that's right-handed, they'd be hitting his left side, or some kind of big, heavy, blunt object. But I was just saying that, like a big truck, I guess my main point was they have huge metal bumpers that might protect the truck from like headlights and things like that breaking on the road.
Right. Yeah. And here's the thing. Some of them don't even feel it when they hit things. Okay. Like a bump is like hitting a bump in the road.
No,
so
they don't.
But he was found in between the, you know how on the side of the freeway, the roads, there's the yellow lines on each side of the road. Then there's one in the middle, right? He was found in between the edge of the road and the yellow line. We're laying like right there in between it. He wasn't on the grass. He wasn't on the road. He was in between the yellow line and the edge of the road, perfectly laying there.
He would have been launched because, as I said, the speed limit was 65, and I guarantee you they weren't going. They probably weren't going 65. We had in my precinct, we had a big truck was going 5 miles an hour, and the guy wound up killing this person across the street. Right, the guy didn't even see him. 5 miles an hour. No damage, like no damage to the truck, nothing. But a truck going, I agree with you about the the bumper and all that, and these massive trucks. But definitely. The body would have been launched.
It would have been probably 30 feet plus, or out away from that road if it would have been hit by a truck, is what I'm saying, or down the road from that spot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. In fact, it leads to the idea of a stage scene that he was in the middle of the road because somebody didn't think it through and thought they'd just place him in the middle of the road and everybody would buy that he got hit by a car instead of realizing he would have been knocked a long ways away.
So,
and like in rural areas, it's common because somebody mentioned the cattle guards. In rural areas, a lot of trucks have cattle guards. And in Colorado, trucks will hit an elk or a deer. Yeah. And they just keep going. They don't even slow down. They don't even happen.
No, because then it causes a worse accident. Yeah.
Yeah. Where I live, you see it all the time. It's a regular occurrence.
Yeah. And he was facing the direction of traffic going. Okay. But he was laying in between the edge of the road before you were to get into like the grass and that yellow line, like right in between that strip there, which is weird to me. By the way, his blood alcohol level was 0.14 through his
0.14.
Yeah, and then the vitreous, I never say that right, was 0.18. Ethyl alcohol level is what it was. There was the toxicology. They tested for everything. Amphetamines, methamphetamines, fentanyl, cocaine, opiates, PCP, barbiturates, benzos.
Well, that's great. Was there drugs? Because again, brain swelling
None
can be caused by
detected.
drugs. Yeah.
None
So
detected.
alcohol only. Yeah. Okay.
Just
And that's
drunk.
a little high. Like
Yeah,
they
but it's
made it sound
0.1,
like when I did
0.14,
the
yeah.
summary that was like it's
Yeah.
twice the legal limit.
right.
The legal limit is been lowered considerably, over the
Yeah.
years. And
Yeah, sometimes it's
0.14, you're
0.08.
drunk, but
Yeah.
you're not necessarily.
Well, he
You're
was
not
drunk. I mean,
wasted, but yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly.
But like,
Thank you, Amanda.
it wasn't fists. I'll tell you that did
No.
this.
Yeah, no. His injuries are not fists, but So, okay, look, here's where I want to go with this. There's a lot of comments, by the way, Dago, and we'll talk. I want my panel to stay behind when we close this down tonight to have a little discussion about some things that I want to address. But one of the things I did see is a lot of our people are asking, how can we get that autopsy report or whatever? So I'm pretty sure Dago will share that with us.
I will share it with you.
Or he might tell me to go fucking do my own homework. I don't know. But more than likely, he's going to share if I know his character. But what I want to do is go ahead and do our close. I hope that you guys enjoyed the Presgrove deep dive. I mean, I was expecting it to be, half of our show or maybe 3/4 of our show and leave some time for something else. But I tend to do these in about 2 hours, and I took the full 2 hours. And I realize it's because I talk a lot, and I talk like a million times during.
It's a lot, though.
I got
It's
questions.
a lot.
Yeah. So hopefully you liked it. I know I'm super intrigued in this case, so I figure we're going to talk about it again. I might even do a deep dive type long form video, which I'm trying to add more to those to my collection. So I might do some thoughts of my own on this as well. So let's do a wrap up for this evening and go around the horn. And then if my panelists could stay after for a brief discussion afterwards, I'd like to kind of address a couple things and see how that works out and maybe get some documents and stuff like that sorted out for later. But let's go. Well, JJ's not on screen. I was going to start with him. Let's go Robin then, 1-1 Dago and JJ. So we give time for JJ to get back to the screen if you went to the little boys room. So Robin, do you have any closing?
Well, here we are again, another fascinating case. And I was kind of behind the scenes doing some investigating of some stuff, and I'm still formulating my thoughts regarding that. But I'm very, very intrigued. So yes, I did. I don't want to say enjoy, but I'm fascinated. I am fascinated by this case. So, but as always, we appreciate each and every one of you coming out tonight. Thank you to all the mods on both channels. Thank you to all of you on the replay crew, as well as whoever joins us live. We appreciate it so very much. And this is very, very fascinating. So, but I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Thanks to everyone on the panel for all the information and great discussion. So yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, by the way, Cass, Jess, and Art for the 5 memberships that you gifted to people. Appreciate that so much. Our community is outstanding and always helping others pay it forward, all that good shit, and then some. So thank you so much for that as well. And I'm glad, Robin, that you liked the case as much as I did. That was one of those spontaneous moments the other night where someone said, "DA, could you please look into this?" And of course, I knew Dago had already done it, and I was like, okay, well, let's pick his brain. And what a great contribution, Dago, you've given to our channel to bring us up to speed and get that going. So I appreciate that very much, and the receipts that you showed. And I'm looking forward to talking about it more. I feel like I've got more questions.
I have more. I have a lot more.
Awesome. Well, let's keep at it if you don't mind, and see how it is. Again, as long as the audience wants to hear it, but I think they do. I think we've made I think people have been curious, and there's a lot of people who say they already knew this and they're glad somebody's talking about it again. So these things tend to sometimes die out, But all right, one. Let's get your thoughts for the night.
Great topic and discussion as always. This case definitely has a lot of twists and turns and threads. Looks like it's right up our alley with all these different things of corruption and staged scenes and fights. And does it come down to who has more money again. These things always seem to come back to, power and money, and I can't help to think, we try to push for justice and all the stuff, but there's just so many of these cases. It really makes you, wonder sometimes what is going on in this world. But thanks to all wonderful mods and all the communities, Turtles, Denizens, Meatball, and the panel. So thank you all. I will leave you with our daily movie quote.
All right.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Fire it away.
Wait till they get a load of me.
That's
quote one.
It's Mask.
Nope.
The Joker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Batman?
You got
Batman.
Yeah, Robin got it.
Oh my God. No.
Essie
got it. Essie got it. Don't look at me. I didn't get it. She did.
That was the Jack Nicholson Joker. Good one.
Yes.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Batman, you got it.
Wait a minute. To be fair, didn't that line get requoted in the Mask?
Yeah.
So I was.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. Okay.
Good job, Esty.
Thank you for that very much. Appreciate the trivia always. All right, coffee mug drinker, Dago, what do you got?
Forget about it. Great. I'm glad that you guys are reigniting this case again. This one had me transfixed for a long time. I'm still because there's no answers to it again. So I'm grateful that you decided to resurface it. I appreciate you allowing me to help with it in a lot of ways. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. So thank you to all the mods who are absolutely amazing, Esty and Amanda, and all of you do such amazing things over here. All of my moderators, as always, thank you so much. My videographer, Molly, and one of my lead investigators, she's always digging and digging and digging. Thank you again, Molly, for bringing all that back to us. I appreciate you so very much, hon. And of course, with all your videography stuff, thank you for that. Mikey, my producer, God bless. I love you, bro. Thank you for everything you do. And thank you all for being here again, guys. We wouldn't be here without. Robin11, JJ Lee, thank you again for having me here as always every night. I really do appreciate you so very much for that. And I love being here, like I said. So guys, don't forget to love yourselves. Don't forget to love each other, and don't change a thing. You guys truly are the beautiful people. I hope you have a wonderful night. Good night, and God bless.
All right, thank you very much. And maybe JJ's mic is not bugging out, but we'll see. We'll give him a chance to see if he can make it work. Are you there? It looks like he's grayed out. It actually looks like the mic is grayed out, like it's not even a source, so he may not have it working. It would be fun to just watch him struggle, though. We could just watch him struggle on the struggle bus and see how long that takes. But
Bueller.
Can he not hear us?
I think he can hear us. Oh, but we can't hear him. Nope. Nothing. We could do one of those.
Come on, JJ, get your shit together.
Reading made easy.
It's probably in your settings, JJ.
Yeah. All right. Well, it doesn't look like JJ is going to be able to say good night. He's trying like a motherfucker, though. I'll tell you that.
Good night, JJ.
It actually looked like he said that when you did that. All right. Unfortunately for JJ, he's not going to be able to say goodnight, but he did offer great contributions to the show. Thank you all for coming tonight. This has been a great discussion. I really enjoyed it. I hope that one person doesn't get so mad that I called them out with the whole thing, but this is a commentary show and I talk a lot. So if you don't like that kind of thing, I'm probably not the creator for you. We do talk a lot about things and I have a lot of questions. And sometimes you just have to stop and go, wait a minute. I got to ask a question because if we go too far down the road, I'll have 30 questions and I won't remember the first question I had. So that's the way it's done. Some people appreciate that style. Some people not so much. So thank you all for those who do enjoy that for coming. please make every effort you can to like and subscribe to all the channels of our panelists. Right now, we didn't have Bronx Tales. We didn't have Logan tonight with Bronx Tales True Crime, but we did have True Crime Cafe. Make sure that you're subscribed to that and to our channel as well. And if you could give us some love on any long form videos that you see pop out, please like and subscribe so that you get notifications so that you know when those drop, because it's really important for us to try to get momentum going again on the long form videos. And I'll be working on putting out more information as we go. But again, seems like if it's not Idaho 4, we haven't been able to teach YouTube that we're not a one-trick pony. We actually talk about other cases and have lots of cases in which law enforcement fuckery or judicial system failures are a part of the equation in mainstream media's complete bullshit narrative shaping that we always fight against, because we will play devil's advocates with the official position. That's what we do. Until next time, people, which is tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you guys later. Watch all these people that do their thing every day. And yeah, till next time. Who knows what tomorrow's topic is going to be? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Thanks, everybody.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Night.